There is a plant so successful that it covers nearly half of Earth's land. You walk on it. You eat it. You spend billions of dollars maintaining it. Yet you barely notice it. This plant built human civilization, and some scientists believe it may have domesticated us, not the other way around. This is the story of grass. Grass. It belongs to the family Poaceae, one of the largest plant families on Earth, with over 12,000 species. From the wheat fields of Kansas to the bamboo forests of China. From the savannas of Africa to the lawns of suburbia. When you look at a blade of grass, you are looking at one of evolution's greatest masterpieces. Consider this. Bamboo, a grass, can grow nearly a meter in a single day. The tallest bamboos reach over 30 meters, as tall as a 10-story building. Yet it is not a tree. It is grass. Wheat, a grass, is the most widely cultivated crop on the planet, covering over 220 million hectares. Rice, a grass, feeds half the human population. Corn, a grass, is grown more than any other crop in the world. Every single grain you have ever eaten that is not from a tree, every slice of bread, every bowl of rice, every tortilla, every beer, comes from grass. The grass family feeds humanity. It built our cities. It fuels our cars. It carpets our world. And its rise to power is one of the most remarkable stories in the history of life on Earth. To understand grass, we have to go way back. Before grass, the world was a very different place. For most of Earth's history, plants were giants. Trees like giant ferns, towering cycads, and massive conifers dominated the landscape. The world was wet, warm, and green, but not with grass. Then, around 65 million years ago, perhaps even earlier during the age of dinosaurs, something changed. The first grasses were humble. Small, unassuming plants that grew at the edges of forests, in disturbed soil, in places where bigger plants could not thrive. They had a secret weapon. They grew from the bottom, not the top. Here is what that means. When a tree loses its top, it dies. But a blade of grass? You can trample it. Graze it. Burn it. Mow it. And what happens? It grows back. Because grass grows from its base, a structure called the meristem, safely hidden below the soil surface. This single innovation made grass virtually indestructible. When the dinosaurs vanished 66 million years ago, the world changed. Forests collapsed. Large herbivores disappeared. Ash and dust darkened the skies. For most plants, it was a catastrophe. For grass, it was an opportunity. Grasses spread across the recovering planet. But they faced a challenge. As the earth cooled and dried, the air grew thin with carbon dioxide. For most plants, this was a death sentence. Photosynthesis became harder. Plants struggled. But some grasses evolved a shortcut. They developed a metabolic pathway called C4 photosynthesis. Instead of the standard C3 pathway that most plants use, C for grasses concentrate carbon dioxide in specialized cells, making photosynthesis up to 50% more efficient, even in hot, dry conditions. This was the single most important innovation in plant evolution since plants first moved onto land. Between 8 and 3 million years ago, C for grasses exploded across the planet. They created the savannas of Africa, the prairies of North America, the steppes of Asia, the pampas of South America. These grasslands transformed the world. They supported massive herds of grazing animals, bison, wildebeest, zebras, elephants. And these grazers, in turn, shaped the grasses, creating a co-evolutionary dance that has lasted millions of years. But grass had another partner. Fire. Grass grows fast. It accumulates dry fuel. And when fire sweeps across a grassland, the grass burns to the ground, but its roots survive. Within weeks, it is green again. Trees, however, cannot recover so quickly. Fire plus grass equals a feedback loop that pushed forests back and expanded grasslands across the globe. Grass did not just adapt to fire. It weaponized it. But grass's greatest conquest was still to come. Around 12,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent of the Middle East, a species of grass called triticum, wild wheat, began to grow near human settlements. For tens of thousands of years, humans had been hunter-gatherers, nomadic, free, moving with the seasons. They ate whatever they could find: meat, fruit, nuts, roots. But wheat offered something new. Its seeds were packed with energy. They could be stored. They could be ground into flour. Yuval Noah Harari, in his book Sapiens, makes a provocative argument. It was not humans who domesticated wheat. Wheat domesticated humans. Think about it. Before wheat, humans lived comfortably, working about 3 to 5 hours a day to gather food. After wheat, they worked from sunrise to sunset, bent over in fields, plagued by herniated discs and arthritis. Wheat demanded water, so humans dug irrigation canals. It demanded protection, so humans chased away pests. It demanded nutrients, so humans collected animal dung to fertilize the soil. Wheat forced humans to abandon their nomadic lifestyle, build permanent settlements, create property rights, develop laws, and invent governments. All to protect a grass. The agricultural revolution was not a human invention. It was a grass's strategy. And it worked. Today, wheat covers 2.25 million square kilometers of earth. It feeds billions. It shapes economies. It triggers wars. It cannot walk, it cannot fight, but it has enslaved the most powerful species on the planet to serve its every need. Wheat is the most successful plant in the history of Earth. And then there is the lawn. A carpet of grass that serves no purpose except to be looked at. And yet, it has become one of the defining features of modern civilization. The tradition began in 17th century Europe, where aristocrats maintained manicured grass around their castles as a symbol of wealth, land that could have grown food but was instead cultivated for beauty. In America, the lawn became an obsession. Today, Americans spend over $100 billion a year on lawn care. We water grass. We mow grass. We fertilize grass. We spray chemicals to kill anything that is not grass. There are more than 40 million acres of lawn in the United States alone, an area larger than the entire country of England. From wheat to lawns, grass has convinced humanity to spend trillions of dollars and countless hours serving its needs. Not bad for a plant that sits quietly beneath your feet. So what is next for the grass empire? With climate change, grasslands are expanding in some regions and shrinking in others. Scientists are engineering seed for photosynthesis into other crops to combat food shortages. Bamboo is being studied as a sustainable building material that grows faster than we can harvest it. Grass may have already conquered the world, but its story is far from over. The next time you walk across a lawn, or eat a slice of bread, or drink a beer, pause for a moment. You are in the presence of one of the most successful organisms in Earth's history. A plant that survived the dinosaurs, created ecosystems, transformed climates, and built civilizations. A plant so powerful that it may have domesticated the species that thinks it domesticated it. That is the story of grass. The silent empire beneath your feet.